Good morning everybody, and how are you? Welcome to the flower patch. My name is Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Well, morning guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, and I hope the weather's really nice for you as well. We have got some sun here, but there is a little bit of wind with it, and apparently we may get some odd showers later. So typical English weather. Anyway, today we're going to do another autumn wreath. As you know, if you're in the florist industry, you tend to have to be at least 1 or 2 seasons ahead of what it is now. So we're on the autumn ones, and before you know it, we'll be doing the Halloween, and then before you know that, we'll be doing the Christmas ones. Sorry to disappoint you, but it won't be long before it's here. So I'm going to use a 14-inch grapevine wreath, and I'm just going to do a crescent shape one today. I've already tidied it up, put the hook on it in advance, so it's ready and waiting for us to start our design. But first of all, I have made a bow, and I have done it in the autumnal colours, where you've got the orange, the deep reds, and some like yellowy mustard colour in there. And I've done these ones in 6-inch. Then I did 2 brown burlap loops in 5.5-inch, 4 of the deep red or burgundy, which isn't wired at all, and I've done that in 5.5-inch, sorry, along with the brown. And then I've just done a tiny little centerpiece in the middle of about 2.5-inch, and I've placed in extra brown tail ends, just so I've got 2 of them either side. This burgundy one, it just naturally curls on its own, which is great, and that's why I like buying it. I've got it in ivory and burnt orange colour as well, and I love it because it just naturally gives you a ringlet at the bottom. So that's our bow. For our foliage, now I've got some deep colours today, guys, in the foliage. I've got a few oddments in my huckleberry bush. I've got some small oddments in there that I placed in when I last used them. I can't remember when that was. So we're going to go through this, see what we've got, and we're going to use that for the movement as well. It's got some lovely movement. I've also got some fern in the same colour. I've only got 5 out, I think, because it's got 3 leaves on each stem, and we have got this rich, deep burgundy fern, which I think's lovely. I've also got out some burnt orange twiggy bits. You know me, guys. Wispy bits and twiggy bits are my favourites. So we've got this just little burnt orange twiggy bits with a few leaves on, where they've obviously turned colour for the autumn, and the leaves are not really many on, but that gives that lovely effect. And they are wired right to the tip, so you can wrap them around in your finger, make them, go wherever you wish. I've also got out just a few, and I've placed these. I've cut some off of the stem, some of our maple leaves, and they've got, I'd say, like a red and green mixture in, and I thought we could just dot a few of those around. I have also got out, I've had a look in my leftover bucket, and I've got a few more left over of these tree pine. I thought we could use a bit of rough texture along with it the smooth. And also I found in there some of my birch leaves which have got a hint of brown on them, or sandy colour, like the turning colour, and so I thought we could use those, and they've also got movement in them as well. And also in my leftover bucket, as I like to go in there so I don't forget about them and they can be used, I've got some more of my elm leaves, which I did an order for somebody a few days ago, and I had these left. I've decided I may place these in. I'm not sure. I have got, oh my goodness, rose hips. That's it. I had to think what they was called then. I have got some rose hips. I have taken them off the stem or the bunch, but the leaves wouldn't come. I couldn't get the leaves back on some of them, so I placed some leaves on picks as well. And I've also got out some deep red raspberries. I thought we could maybe incorporate these. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see as we go along. For our floral, now I've only got out, because we're going to have like autumnal colours, so browns, reds, oranges, things like that. So I've got out my coffee coloured peonies. I've cut 3 off the bunch, ready to use, so I don't have to bring the whole bunch on my counter or worktop and then chop away. So I cut things off before I start. On here I've got out, and I've got 2 bunches out. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but there is 2 oddments in here. But I've got out my lovely ranunculus as well, one of my favourite flowers. I've also got out some rose buds, and I've got them in like a champagne and also like a sandy tone, you know, mixture between like a coffee and a sand colour. So we've got those out as well. And I've also got out some brown and coral looking mini peonies with lots of different foliage, what comes with them. I thought I may just add some of these little mini button dahlias in. They are the mini ones, and I thought I may add some of those. So I chopped quite a few off of the stem and place these also on pick. I know they are a light colour. They are a like an ivory, cream ivory colour, and I thought, you know, just to give it a bit of brightness instead of it all being so dark, we'll just add some of those. And finally, I've got out a few of my favourites, hellebore in rich deep red. So I thought we'll use one of those. Let's, you know, dot a few of those around and give it a nice pretty look. So that is what we've got today, guys. So I hope you're looking forward to this. Again, just press that subscribe button and like, and I'll be more than grateful. So one moment, I'm going to alter the camera so I can bring you in, and let's just bring you forward. I'm going to leave it about there, guys, because it may end up quite big. I'm not sure yet, with it being a 14-inch wreath. So let's start. And I'm going to work upside down as I do, so you can see it as, you know, you're doing it yourself. So I'm going to start off with our background foliage, which is going to be the elm leaf. And when I say background foliage, it basically just means foliage at the back, you know, behind everything. And this is what I use my background foliage to create my line, you know, the size of the wreath that I'd like it to be. And that's what it's basically for. So I don't know what I've got in here, so we'll just go with it. I try to move everything out of the way, guys, so you can get a full review without everything being in front. So let's I'm going to place this underneath my hook. I don't want it to glue onto the hook where it will glue the hook down, just in case I need to move it if it's not balanced correctly. So that's this one, and this is where I'm creating how far I want to come out when I say my border or my line, and I'm creating the size of the wreath that I want. So I'm going to go right opposite. Let me just bring that out a little bit more. So that's how we've done it so far. I think the rest of them may be all single stems. So we're going to bring that one in. I placed this on the outside, so now I'll bring one on the inside. Don't worry if your stems pop through the back, mine do, you know, so that's not a problem. You just trim them at the back. I'm going to place this one on the inside as well. Turn it in the position that I'd like it to sit. I've got one here what's got a leaf that's torn, so I'm going to chop that off. So then I'm going back on the outside. So I'm doing a zigzag. Again, same with this one. Back on the outside. And if you notice, for you new beginners, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I am placing my stems up. From 12 o'clock down to 9 o'clock, I am placing my stems down. Place that one on the inside. Place that one also on the inside. Lift them up if you like, you know, if you want quite a bit of movement. Oh, I found one here with 2 on. Got any more with 2? Doesn't look like it, so I may bring that one on the outside. So let's just cut the stem a little. I'll go here. And then just bend it outwards. Because don't forget, it's all right doing your wreath around this way, but if that one's got its own mind. But if you're coming up, you need things on the outside as well. Right at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to place another one here. so it's not by itself and doesn't look odd, just 2 leaves sticking out. I'm going to do the same on this side. Now I've got plenty more left. So if you feel you want a few more adding in around here, here or in here, then you can add some more in just to fill it up a little bit more. I think I'm going to bring, oh, that one's torn as well. I may bring one here. And if you can't position it and it won't go where you like it to go, just get your flat nose pliers and let that help you bend it into position. I think I'm going to bring another one around here. Well, on this occasion, I don't mind if I see any of the grapevine, with it being that woody look. I really don't mind. I'm going to bring one in as well. We'll go in towards the center. And just use my snips to manipulate it inwards like that. So I've got these left. I could just bring these here. Let's just tidy this stem up a little. And that one as well. So around here, I'm going to put my bow central. I tend to like to see it central, but I do like to place it in other areas as well. I'm going to bring one here. It looks a little bit like there's a gap. And I may bring that there. So that's what we've got at the moment, and our bow is going to be sitting around here. So if I just show you, it will sit amongst all of the floral and foliage as we go along. I don't tend to place it in immediately. I like to make sure I get everything I need in first. Right, I'm going to place in some of our rich, deep red fern. I was thinking about using a burnt orange fern, but I thought, oh, that rich, deep red would look fabulous. And just have that sitting amongst the green, which the green will and the red will bounce off of each other. And I'm going to lift it because I want that it to pop through in other areas, you know, once we've placed other things on. Oh, I've just pulled a leaf off. Have I snapped that? Oh, I hope I haven't snapped it. Oh, I have. I'll have to sort that one in a moment. That's not really grabbing on anything. There we have it. Again, guys, I've got a friend, Audrey, in Phoenix, New York, who's looking for a craft show. If anybody knows of any that are coming up or are going to be taking place, go on to her YouTube channel, which is Heavenly Scent Cut Flowers. Send her a message, tell her where you know there's some craft shows going, and she'll be more than grateful. And also check out her YouTube channel as well. She's a lovely lady, dear friend. Bring that out. I'm going to just use these two to come out, and the other one I'll use to go inwards. So we'll bring that off to the side, sticking outwards, and I shall place a pick on this. Even though it's torn at the bottom, the glue will dry it and keep it together. So I'm just going to smooth the glue where it's all torn, the leaf, let that set. Right, let's just get in some of our pine needles as well. If you have a bucket or a tub or even a cardboard box that you place in little bits that you don't know what to do with because you've only got the odd bits of them, or you've got a few like these but you obviously can't put them back on the stem, place them in something and then keep going back to it, and you know, use them up. And that's a way to use up your leftovers. It saves on a lot of pennies and a lot of money, because floral isn't, you know, cheap. Things are quite expensive now, what they used to be years ago. So it's a good thing to save. So I'm just placing 3 around here. I'm going to place 3 down at the bottom, and then we'll see what we've got left. So I'm just going to turn it round. That's a double one. So we've got 3 there as well. Oh, I've got 2 double ones. again, I'm going to bring one on the inside as well. So the double ones I can have just leaning out to the side. Oops, I can't. There we have it. Just manipulate your stems, just give them a little bend. So now we've placed in our lovely tree pine. So let's feel, I can feel a piece of wood, I think it's that. Let's just cut that down. If you feel something scratching along the bottom of your workbench, just turn it upside down and you may see either a stem sticking out or a piece of your grapevine is a bit too sharp and it's scratching. So then try to just trim it. Let's see if this is dry yet. So let's just put this in so we don't forget. And lift that up there as well. Right, so I've got my maple and I'm going to be adding these in as well. I'm going to bring some on the outside at the back. I'm not sure how many I've got. Oh, I've got a longer piece there. I think that's the only long piece I've got. But that's okay, we'll use that here instead. So let's get that one in first and bring that one onto the, where the bow will be. And as you can see, I've created my border, my structure or my line by placing in these elm leaves. And once I've placed in the elm leaves, I then knew that I have to stay now within that perimeter and inside of it with my foliage and floral. Just bring one there. So again, we're going to be placing these on the outer side as well. Bring that colour on the bottom. Has any of you got anything wonderful planned for the weekend? I've got the choir study day Saturday. Tomorrow I'm busy. I'm at a meeting with concerning flower arranging and with a dear friend of mine. I'm going to be checking out some well, not new, but checking out some floral and some foliage, things like that. So I'm bringing some of these on the inside as well. Let's just lift that elm leaf. I've got two, well, that's a little one. So by itself, I'll bring that one out into this, well, going towards the center of the wreath. Because it's only on its own. And then I'll probably bring this one here. Or maybe here actually. No, I'll bring it inwards. We'll have it shorter there. So we've created this at the moment with some of our lovely colours. Let me just grab the foliage up here. Oh, look at the twiggy bits. Oh. Now I want a bit of movement with the birch, because the majority of everything is quite big leaved. So just mix up your foliage with large solid leaves like this, and then with smaller ones like your birch and others in between that. So then it all balances beautifully and gives it more of a natural look. Unless you desire to just have an arrangement where you've got one, size foliage. I'm bringing these on the inside to start with. Just to allow that movement. I'm going to bring one in the center. And I'm going to have that just sticking slightly up again for that movement. And the others I'm going to put around the bottom or on the outside. So let's just cut those down. So let's just lift the wreath slightly. And by placing things on the outside as well, what you've got on the inside or on top, that helps also to fill in any gaps as you're going along. got glue stuck to my fingers. And our last one. Let's just see if anything's come through. No, I've got it lucky today so far. Touch wood, as we say. Right, I'm going to place in our twiggy bits on the outside also, and perhaps bring a few on the inside. Just by adding these in, and you can just swirl them around your finger, give them a little curl on this stem, especially if you want it smaller and you don't want it sticking out so much. That's how you can reduce the height of it, by swirling it around your finger. But if you'd like it lengthways and quite long, that you can see it, then that will also, it's good for that as well. So I'm going to mix some orange in with the red on top, so you can see little bits. Just popping up, showing, you know, the little bright coloured leaves. That could go on the outside, it's quite long. Got one by itself. I could bring in to the center. Just coming further in. And then one coming outwards. And just pop that out as well. And then the others I'll place on the outside. Again at the bottom, and fill in and add a bit of interest around the sides. You may as well use them all. We are quite stringy today. We've got 2 left. And then one we'll place down here, near the end. get rid of that glue string. So like that. So we've used all of those as well. I do have our huckleberry. Now I love this. I really do love this. But I may add that in, further along. What I want to do now is, now I've placed in the most of the foliage, is now add in our lovely bow. So I'm just going to get my weaving needle, which helps me thread it through the grapevine much better than struggling. Push it through, comes out the other side, and pull. Excuse me. And do the same with the other piece of wire. I do them separate because I don't want the wires going through the same place, because you need your grapevine to be able to attach your wire around two different areas of the grapevine to hold it in place. So now I've just pushed that through. Let me just make sure it's sitting in the position that I like it. Quite like that. So we'll place it there, and then we'll grab our wire and we will twist. Cut the excess off, and then this piece here I will turn inwards, back inside, and push it into the wreath so it doesn't scratch your doors. So I've done it where I've got brown on one side, then the orange, we'll call it orange, then the burgundy, and then the brown on the opposite side. I don't want the two browns next to each other. Let's just fluff up our ribbon, or our bow, sorry. Oh, I'm terrible for calling it ribbon. Well, it is ribbon, but once you've created something with it like this, it becomes a bow. So I may thread these through the foliage, or this time I may have them hanging on top. So that is with our lovely bow now placed in. Doesn't that look wonderful? So let's start with our floral. Again, I'm not sure about the raspberries. I don't think so. But let's get our main floral in now. And I've got 3 large peony heads. And I'm going to want 1 up above here. 1, and I'll put that one there. So, and then 1 coming out of the side here. So that's where I'd like the chocolate brown peonies. So let's just get those in. And just slightly lift the head so it's able to be seen. Oops, I've cut myself. Like so. And then this one we'll bring on the outer side. Let's do it where it's central to where the bow is. So we've got that just sitting on the outside there. Let's get some of our ranunculus in. We'll bring 2 on either end on top. These are really pretty. So we'll have those just there where the peony is. We'll do it here as well. Oh, I've got another one. Oh no, I found, oh, there was 4 on picks. Oh, that's good. I want to bring one around where the bow is, just above the small tail ends of the bow, just to bring a little bit of floral inwards. See if I can twist that so it leans inwards. Yeah. And then do another one here. Bring that in as well. Oh, my tummy's grumbling. I've not long had breakfast. So we've got those there. I'm going to bring one coming out here, just after this peony. So then I'm creating with that one, and this, the triangle. I don't want it as, you know, far in as the others. So we'll bring it slightly further out, not too much. So as you see, we have this, this and this. It doesn't have to be an exact triangle, but if you keep within that triangular shape. And I'll do the same up above here as well. So I don't think we need any more peonies, but I'll leave those there for now. So I'm going to bring in, oh, I've just peeled off my nail polish. The glue's taken it off. I'm going to bring in some of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get to start with. Bring one of these because we want colour as well on the inside. So bring that on the inside. Again, wherever you place colour on top, always place it on the inner side of the wreath and also on the outer side. And that will balance out your florals beautifully. That's that one. now I'm going to bring one slightly further up on top, but let it slightly lean outwards a little bit. If that's, you know, if you're wanting it to, I'm wanting it to sit, I think, around there. So we'll go here as well. Bring that there. And I'm going to bring one coming out like the peony at the side. Or shall I bring one? I'm gonna place it in and then bring it through the ribbon so it's on top like the others. So let's get it in, and then I'm just weaving it through where the ribbon is, so it pops up within the bow like that. And do that with some of your foliage as well. Have it coming through your bow, so then your bow looks like, well, the foliage looks like it's growing through your bow. So we've got those. I'll hold back. I've got the lighter coloured ones. I may place those on the outside. We'll see. Hellebore. That's what I was thinking next. So I cut a few off of a stem, but then went back and fetched another stem in case. Now these will add a lovely, really rich colour, and will set off everything. Because you've got similar shades or tones around with the peony, the rose and the ranunculus, by bringing in a dark colour or a rich colour and placing it in between, it will set off those colours and they will bounce off of each other. So let's do that with this one. Bring it inwards. Bring the little one there so they can be seen. So you've got them, as you can see here. So it's not just a, you know, a cluster of the same tone. So we're breaking it up by adding in that darker colour. And I'm going to do the same around here as well. So let me just turn it around. So let's do the same. I may need to cut this stem. I think I will. Let's take that leaf off. So then that's breaking up the ranunculus, the rose and the peony. I'm going to bring a single one at the end as well. So let's cut that one down shorter. I'm going to save the leaves because they are nice, then, you know, and they will look really pretty. But and you can also add them in if you want to fill a foliage. If there was like fraying or something, you know, like that, then I wouldn't use them. It's really weird. You can get some beautiful flowers, really pretty, but yet the foliage that goes with the floral isn't as good quality as the actual flower itself. So we've got those there. I'm going to want to bring, I'm glad I brought the other bunch out. I'm going to want to bring some around here as well. I may bring the odd one in, or in fact I may bring them on the outside. Oh my goodness, there's that many choices. I may end up getting another bunch. So let's cut that one. Bring it on the outside. Where I've placed the one here and here, I'll bring it on the outside to form that triangle instead. So we've got the deep rich red flowers on the outer side. If you can see, so we've got the hellebore here and here and then here. So now I've formed that triangle with that one. So I'll do the same up above. Let me take the leaf off. So then this one will come around here. On the outside. So I've got two left. So let's chop those. I'm going to place them either side of this peony on the side to bring a red floral out on there as well. Let's just cut that a little bit more. It's a double one, so that would sit lovely. That's one. I'm definitely going to use the foliage what I'm cutting off from them. And then let's bring one also here, because it's just really foliage that is placed here. I can't see. There we go. So we've got those on the outer side next to the peony as well. I've just heard a scratch. I think it's that wire. Let me just, oh, I see one here, a little one, but it's not sticking on the outside. On the bottom, could it be that? Nothing else I can really see. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. Now, so I'll save these leaves. So I don't want no more ranunculus. So let's place those there. I don't think I need no more roses. And again, I'm definitely going to add these just to give it, and where it's lifting, as you can see, with the dark and the lighter colour. I do have Now I have these corally coloured ones. Oh, they look a bit like they're clashing a bit too much. So what about the brown? Oh, that's on the stem. Oh, it's joined together, look, as one. The brown and the coral. I may leave those out, guys. I don't want to make it too much of the same tone. So we're left with our raspberries, our huckleberry and our rose hip. Now let me see with the huckleberry. Yeah, I'm going to add in a few of these. Not too many of them though. I'm going to bring one in near the bow. It's got a lovely movement to it. I'm going to do one out the other side of the bow as well. I can get it in. There we go. So you've got that rich colour there too. I don't know why I don't just take the, you know, it comes across as I'm really lazy because I can't be bothered. It looks like I can't be bothered to just take off the band. I don't know why I'm like that. Now this is a longer piece, so we're going to bring that down there. Let me just cut the stem at an angle. Oh, not forget those. Place a rich colour foliage here also on the ends. Just spread them out so they don't look too much of a cluster. Oh my goodness, I can't. Oh, I can hear the wind outside. If you ever decide to come on holiday or vacation from the States to the UK, bring a coat and jumper. Because one day it could be lovely and hot and the following day it could be absolutely pouring it down with rain, high winds and cold. The temperature can just drop overnight. So just be prepared if you ever did come on vacation to the UK. Because we're not an exotic country. We don't have very much high temperatures, or you know, throughout the year. They change daily. We may get sometimes a you know, 2 weeks where it's beautiful weather and everybody's out in their shorts, t-shirts, and then after that the rain comes. It's basically always been like that over here. That's the true English weather. So I've placed some of these huckleberries on the outer side. I may place one next to the or under the peony, should I say. If I can just have a look where it is. So it's got a dark colour there also. And then I've got I may bring just two, one here and one here. I don't want really any more. I don't want to overpower. I want to keep it balanced. It doesn't mean to, you know, when you're trying to balance something, try not to place in too much of one element to where it then becomes more noticeable. And your eye gets drawn into that more than anything. So I'm just bringing that in there. So we've got a bit of the deep red on the inside. And I'm going to do the same here as well. So that's what we have so far. Doesn't that look really, really pretty? Really rich autumnal. Now let me just look. I keep looking at these. I don't know, guys. If I place them in, they would have to sit on the outer side. I'm not going to place them in. As much as I do love them. I've got some more on order. I never know when they come in. From the wholesaler that I've ordered them from, it could take up to 10 days for them to get delivered. So now the rose hips. Now they are a brighter red. Do I? Or do I put those? One moment, guys. Do I put those berries in that we placed in on the wreath that's sat behind me at the moment? Or do I? Let's have a look. Oh, I've got all sorts. Or do I add in some seed heads? Again, I don't want to overdo it with too much dark. No. Immediately that's told me no. I've just pulled a berry off. Oh, there it goes. So we'll stick that back on. If I can find where I've pulled it off now. Oh, here we go. So we'll place those back. So the seed heads. Now I take these off. Yeah, I think they're better. I'm not going to place in the rose hips. They're too much of a lighter red, and I'm not really, you know, fond of that. So I'm going to pull these to come with 3 on a stem. So I'm going to pull them off, as you can see, 3 little separate ones. So instead of having them as a whole cluster, I'm going to dot them around and get more out of them. 6. I can't get that one off. 7, 8. Let's get 9. 9. So we'll get some picks. And while we're placing things on picks, I will put the leaves on picks as well. We'll keep those there. Well, I got asked a question why when I dip my florals and my pick, should I say, in the glue pan. Why do I wipe it off at the side? I don't wipe it off at the side. What I'm doing is I'm just stopping the glue string from following me once I've dipped it in. So it's like I'll dip it in, and if I don't, then the glue string will follow me. So I flick it off. Occasionally I do get the glue strings following me, but by doing that, I'm just preventing having glue strings all over my arrangements or my worktop. So that's them. So now we'll just do these little leaves as well from our hellebore. So we have the little leaves and now the seed heads. So let's bring in the seed heads, and with these 2, 4, 5 on top. So we'll cut these slightly shorter. This is just to add that little extra autumnal feel. And also I'm adding a lighter colour around the dark hellebore. Place one again right on the end. And I'll do it here while I'm facing myself. Bring that one there. And add one in here. And then I'm going to bring one and thread it through the ribbon. So I'm just going to move the tail ends out of the way, go under, there we have it, and then drop the tail ends back and bring that in there as well. So the longer ones, the other 4, I'm going to bring on the outer side. Just going to cut a little bit off of those. So I've got one here, so I'll bring one around here. One, 2, around here. Let's do this one. And then one more. So one around here. So then we've got just our little few leaves, and I'm going to place these And I'm just going to bring them down on the inside, in around here. There's depth, so they've got little leaves popping up, or looking like they're just starting to grow. Let me just cut that one a little bit shorter. Because I'm going to stick this in the centre of the bow to have a bit of greenery in there as well. So now we come finally to our little, these are miniature dahlias. Aren't they pretty? Again, this will just give it a little bit more of a lift. I don't want to add in too many, because if by adding in too many, because we've got a lot of rich colours and darker tones, by adding in a lot around the top, because they're like little balls, your eye will immediately be drawn to them. So you know, use them sparingly so they're not really too noticeable. So when I say that, I will again place one around there, but make sure things are covered, you know, all around it. It's not going to stand out and be noticed, because if I placed in, let me just show you, lots around the top, I'll give you the example what I'm saying. I can't really get that to sit flat. I'm just going to pop them in. Just to give you an idea of what I'm trying to say. I can't get that to stop. You will then start to notice all your, let me just place it here. You will then notice the white, there'll be like dots, because you've overdone it by placing too many in. So if I stood above it, immediately my eyes are drawn straight away in to these, because they are lighter and they're, you know, they're brighter than the rest. So you'd use it sparingly and just dot a few around so your eye's not immediately drawn to that direction. So I've got one there. I'm going to do this standing up. I'm going to place one here. Again, I'm not having them too high, again, because that will, you know, attract your eyes to them as well. While they are actually set slightly deeper, they're not going to be standing out too as much. And then just lift some foliage around them, so you may just see a little bit of the colour popping through. And do one here as well. Again, I'm bringing them onto the end as well. Let's bring that down a bit so it's not as noticeable. So it's set inside. And I'll bring one around here. Again, I'm using it as depth, because I don't want them to stand out too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to bring one under here. There's a little bit of depth as well on the outer side. And I'm going to do the same. Hi George, are you going to Argos?
Yeah.
Can you take that card for me to me? Thing is, if you don't mind, on your way. Thanks, George. He's a good lad, my son. So I'm now going to place one under here. I will show you when I say depth, as you can see, look, it's hidden within our foliage. I don't want it sticking out, that you will see it. So I'm cutting the stem shorter. So it's hidden around the sides. I think I've got one left. Let's see where I can place. I may bring that inwards on the inside as well, but again as depth. Now, after I've just shown you with all of those in, before I've just started gluing them in, how they would be noticed on top because there was that many. Now I have placed them in as depth. Your eye isn't drawn to them like it was before. So it's balanced it out. It's gave it that lovely look. Just bend that over. And nothing now looks too out of place. So that is our project for today, where it looks really, really pretty. Let's just fluff up now our loops on our bow. I can't fluff these up because they've got no wire. Place. Bring our tail ends at the top, nice and neat. Just curve those over a little. Like so. So there we have it, guys. That is our, and I've pulled the tail ends off to one side. Instead of having them hanging low, downwards, I've, manipulated them just to go off to the side instead. If you don't like that sort of thing, and you think they're too long, you can chop them, or you can, in fact, let's have a look. I may trim them. So I'll cut them about here. And then it's not then too long. I'll dovetail this one. And then the red one. I'm not really fussed about doing anything with that because it's curling on its own. So that curl's lifted it up higher. So by just doing that and having it coming out to at least where your foliage or your boundary is, makes it look pretty as well. So I'm just going to get out my easel and we're going to place it on that and see what it looks like. It's really rich in colour. It looks really pretty. Very warm in colour too. Just get that. Let me check if there's anything popped out of the back. No, we're all good. So there we have it. I may just cut that one. Put that away. Let's just tidy up the workbench. So bring that there. And I'll just bring up the camera. Oh, that's very lovely, very rich. Let me face it this way a bit more. I seem to always face it the opposite way. Terrible. It's quite large, so I'll bring you back a little bit. You may not get it all in, but that's the majority of it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you like the colours. It's a lovely, rich, warm autumnal colour, but also you could use this for Christmas time as well. You know, look lovely in your room for Christmas. Instead of having the traditional style or anything, have something what's just rich in colour, what, you know, represents all the reds and oranges and things what you have for Christmas. And but yes, for autumn and that, it's a really, really pretty colours, mixing lighter toned oranges. They are two-tone, they are light on the outside and go darker in the centre with the ranunculus. Then your vibrant orange twiggy bits, your coffee coloured rose buds, your coffee coloured peonies as well, but then your rich deep red hellebore. And then by adding in your deep red foliage, like I've got the fern, and then also the huckleberry, adding that in, and then also placing a rich red on your bow as well. You know, I always say whatever you use for your flowers, incorporate some of that colour into your bow, or vice versa. If you've chosen a bow and you want to make a bow up, whatever colours is in that, incorporate your florals with those colours in. And then obviously the forest green I've added in, and some sage green foliage, and you know, just bits of movement with the foliage, like the elm leaf. It is quite wispy, it does move. It's not got wire on the stems apart from the main central one, so it does give off a lot of movement. And then just by adding in some maple leaf with red and green tones in, combined, also gives that lovely autumnal look. And again, add in some pine needles. They're an all year round foliage. A lot of people tend to use them just for Christmas time. They're an all year round tree, guys. So use and abuse them, I say. And yeah, so I'm bringing in some things in towards the center as well. Always, when you've got a bow especially, always incorporate foliage around here and around here, not just here and here. Always go do south and west as well. Don't forget, it's all right doing north and south, sorry, but by not doing east and west, it's not balancing out. You need to go around the bow with foliage. So bring some out into the center, bring it out to the sides as well. Because if you just do your floral from here to here, there's just going to be an empty space here. Nothing's, coming out from the side. So I'm not saying it always does, but occasionally it could make it look slightly odd and unfinished. So take that into consideration. And also by placing in these lovely cream as well, what go beautiful with, it's like the cream is on like a brown tone, it's part of like the brown family, they say, as well as the white. But by adding in something like that, what goes with brown and reds and oranges, don't have too many. If you want a lot in, don't, then you're going to have to think about your colour choice, because again, as I've shown you when I placed them all on, there was like dot, 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 and my eyes immediately drew to those when I stood above them. Now, by me placing these in further in as a bit more depth and spreading them around on the top and around the sides, doesn't make it look that noticeable now. So, and it also, gives it a little nice feel with the seed heads as well, anything like that, or berries, whichever choice is yours. You don't have to use the peonies, you could use roses, you could use and really hydrangeas if you wanted lovely autumnal coloured hydrangeas. I was looking at those, if I'll be quite honest, but then I decided on the peonies. But then, if you haven't got ranunculus or anything like that, you could use little rose buds, or you could actually use, what was I looking at earlier I was going to take? Oh, the little, how the snowballs, the things like that, what are round in shape. Anything really you could use like that. And then also, if you didn't, you don't want to use roses, try using something maybe, if you wanted a deep, rich, you could even actually put deep, rich ranunculus in if you wish, or you could put in baby hydrangeas or anything like that instead of a rose. You could also add in, berries instead of the roses and deep rich, or astilbe, adding some astilbe if you haven't got berries, things with a bit of a rough texture. And if you haven't got the deep rich red huckleberry, or the fern, try and get, maybe use some autumnal coloured in browns, ruscus, willow. You can even get eucalyptus in the browns, I've got it, or some more maple leaves instead. You can do that. There's lots of options. But, if you want to give an autumnal wreath, a go, guys, because it won't be long before autumn's here, and give it a go. You could even add in some pumpkins if you wish. What if you haven't got these little dahlias, you could add in miniature pumpkins in this colour, or you could add in, orange pumpkins and any colour pumpkins really. You can get all sorts of colours now. You could just add a few of those in as well. And then with your bow, have a bow where it's got a pumpkin on the bow. So it's what you've got here, like the pumpkin, it's also showing in your bow as well. So I hope that gives you a few ideas, guys. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and also that you love the deep, rich warmth colour of, you know, the autumnal wreath. So please like and subscribe and share to your friends, please. You know, it really does help my business get noticed, and bring them along just to give them some ideas to have, you know, to see what they could create for themselves if that's what they want to do, you know, is make something for themselves. To, you know, I'm here for the guidance, you know, to teach you how to make something fabulous, which I guess that you're all doing already. So well done to you all. So anyway, I won't be here tomorrow again. I've got the meeting. It's a busy day for me, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend as well, and I'll see you back here on Monday. So take care, everybody. Have a great day. Love you all. Keep your comments coming. Good health and God bless. Bye for now. Let's just get a slight bit more of a close-up. I'll take this off this stand. Get the cable out of the way. Right, there's our rich, deep, coffee-coloured... Oh, it's not zoomed in again. One moment, guys. There we go. Our coffee-coloured peony. There's our maple leaf with the browns and greens. Our lovely, rich, deep hellebore where it's darker in the centre. And our really rich, deep huckleberry. Our elm leaf. Our twiggy bits, which I love. Our lovely baby ranunculus with our seed heads. And then our lovely little baby dahlia. We've also got our rich red fern as well. It looks black on the screen, but it's a very deep burgundy. And our birch leaves, I was going to say birch tree then, birch leaves as well. And not forgetting our pine needles by adding those in. And also our rich coloured bow with the deep colour. As you can see, there's no wire in this at all, but then by adding a bit of some orange with that colour in it as well, and then some neutral, you know, browns to go with the colours of the floral, that make it blend in beautiful. And also by just sticking the odd thing inside your bow as well, makes it look like your foliage, you know, things like that are popping through your bow, which makes it, you know, more pleasing because it's inside and everything looks like it's growing throughout. So I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Take care and have a wonderful weekend too. I love you all, and keep your comments coming. Bye for now.